Hi, beautiful people. So, I wanted to come in here and have a moment of honesty, post election honesty. And first of all, I want to apologize for everybody who follow me on here and I'm not consistent with my content. First of all, thank you so much for sticking with me and for putting up with that inconsistency. But moving forward, that will be changing. Before I make my declaration, I want to show you how I got here. Growing up in America has been me realizing, like, growing up literally in America has been me realizing that this country is not what my parents taught me it was. Growing up, my father is from Talladega, Alabama. My mom is from up here, but neither one of my parents has ever raised me to fear white people or to feel like I'm inferior to white people. Like, I genuinely grew up with the belief that we were all equal, and being in corporate America has illuminated me to the fact that that Kanye West line, racism's still alive, they just be concealing it. It is not just a cute line, but it's actually a reality. And being a 35-year-old Black woman, I had to come up, like, I think this last election, it has completely broken my heart with the reality that America is what I thought it was. America is not the land of the free. It is not the land for equal opportunity. And that's been heartbreaking. Like, I know there's a lot of Black people that's like, I've been new, this country ain't shit. No, I'm just getting here. I was hoping and wishing for the best. The first president that I ever voted for was President Obama. I am from Detroit, where Kwame Kilpatrick was my mayor all through high school. So it's like, I've only known Black people in positions of power. I've only known us to be excellent. I've only known us to be great. I've only known us to be the flyest and the culture shifters of this reality. So this whole, this whole idea about, racism and white people really don't, think that a Black woman that qualified got there by DI. Like, I don't subscribe to that. And, for a long time, I was kind of mad that that my parents didn't teach me all about white supremacy. But actually, I'm grateful that they didn't. I'm grateful that they allowed me to grow up with an open heart and just allow me to find it and discover it on myself. So growing up in America has been realizing that this country is not what I thought it was, and it has broken my heart. It's like being in a fucked up relationship and realizing that the guy you were in love with the whole time was a fucking narcissist. Like, it takes a lot. And so I say that to say that on top of that, I also am, as you see this mole in the middle of my head, being an African American means that I don't know my spiritual ties. I don't know if I am a seer or if I'm a channeler. And honestly, me not being able to label myself really made me feel insecure. It really made me question my gifts, because I'm like, who am I to say all these, to give people this information if I can't go back and say, oh, I've been, I am a third generational healer, or this, I used to really feel self-confident. I used to feel insecure about that until, unfortunately, the whole lipstick maven issue happened, and it made me realize that, it doesn't matter if you knew this at your childhood. It's all about where your heart is coming from. And my last barrier to entry for me answering my call was a couple of years ago. I had a dream where I was in, maybe a building. I'm assuming it was like a headquarters of some type. There was a lot of people around, and the police was bombing. The police was literally shooting up the building, and they were saying that they were going to bomb the building. And in the building, like in the basement, like, I was literally like live streaming it, and like, there's kids in here crying. And I looked over and I saw my brother. At the time, I thought it was my little brother. He was sitting there terrified, and I had him in this situation. And I woke up and I come to find out, my brother has recently had a child, and I realized that wasn't my brother. That was my brother's child. And so after having that dream, it scared the fuck out of me, because I was like, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm getting killed and murdered because I'm trying to free other people. And I damn sure don't want to put my nephew in harm because of the life that I'm living. And to be completely honest with y'all, like, I was doing it, but my heart wasn't really in it. And like, I honestly started pulling away from my nephew. Mind you, he ain't even 1 yet. But it was just like that dream. I woke up, I was terrified. Like I mean, if you watch any of that Black Panther stuff, like it felt like that. And I don't know if, even now, I don't know if that was like a past life or if it was a future vision. But watching Agatha all along and watching, if you haven't seen it, it's like episode 7, the best episode I've ever seen of television. And for some reason, like watching that and seeing her go through her journey, it made me realize like, oh, my job is just to see. Like when we as healers and, seekers and magicians, when we start getting afraid of our powers, it don't just harm us, it harm everybody around us. And one thing I've always say on here and on my YouTube channel is like, what if the world is in chaos because you are not stepping up and being who you want to be? And when this election came up, and after I went through all my feelings, I realized that same saying, what if the world's in chaos because you won't step up? It just kept ringing in my ear over and over again. And I realized that I wasn't talking to you guys, I was talking to myself. And I owe it to myself. I owe it to my nephew. I owe it to my little cuddy buddy sitting here looking at me. I owe it to my future children to be the best that I can be. And so I may not be able to tell you exactly what my powers is. I may not be able to tell you, what tribe I came from, or my grandma didn't teach me this. But I can tell you guys that the information that I have been learning and I have been divining from the spiritual world has completely changed my life. It has helped me become balanced and one within myself. And I am vowing to teach others how to do the same. I actually had the privilege of seeing Stephen Barnes this past Saturday at Detroit, at the Detroit Library. And he said something that really, really stuck with me. 2 things he said with me. He said, I don't have the luxury and I don't have the right to not be the best person that I can be. A lot of our grandparents, a lot of our ancestors did not even have the life that we're having right now. Like, fuck not being able to be a writer. If I look at my life on a blank surface, I am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. I am living a blessed life. I have been to over 8 countries in the last 3 years. I have 2 degrees. I don't have to go in nobody's office. I literally talk to these white people however I want to talk to them. And that is a privilege in itself. But we have so much more further to go. The other thing that Stephen said to me that I am going to tuck in my heart and my soul, I guess it's one more. He said, you're either going to die by the discipline, you're either going to have the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And he said that a master is somebody who is always learning, they're always giving, and they're always sharing. And I have been slacking on the sharing part. I have been keeping this little information that I have been keeping, I have been learning. I've been keeping it to myself and in my own little corner of the universe. And I'm not doing that no more, because guess what? The people who are hateful, the people who are trying to keep us down, they not stopping, they not being quiet. And so I'm about to step up. I'm going to be just as loud and out there as everyone else. And if I have to die for helping bring heaven on earth, then goddamn, that has to be a hell of a way to die. I don't know how our leaders, I don't know how Malcolm did it. I don't know how Martin did it. I don't know how they stepped out, but I want y'all to know that I have a lot of fear. I had a lot of fear, but I realized that this fear cannot hold me back anymore, and I won't allow it to hold me back anymore. I will do everything possible to make sure that my family is protected and I am protected, but I'm gonna keep getting this information out there. And so I wanna leave y'all with this card that I pulled for you guys, and I will continue to pull for you every Monday. You can come right back here to get your Monday motivation. And it says, I am worthy. I am enough, and I am worthy of receiving everything I desire. I do not need to prove myself to those who seek to diminish me. We don't need to prove a goddamn thing to the people on our jobs, to the people in our families. All you have to do is be who you know that you can be. God, give us just one more card. Give us a tarot card to help us through this week. Let us know what we need to focus on. In God's name I pray, Ashe. The devil. Let's not allow our shortcoming and our limiting beliefs to hold us back from who we know we could be. Go forward because you are worthy. I love you.